everyone, my name is Leo, and today I'll be going over two trades that I took on January 26, 2026. That one made me around 3.94%, and another I lose 1.6%. So, we'll start from a higher time frame. So, higher time frame to yesterday's Monday. Monday, January 26th. Price basically opened here, and at market open we see a very strong bullish movement. On that day, I think gold was up about 100 points, $100, not yeah, $100. So it basically went from 4988 to around 5100 at the highest. So as we can see, gold is really bullish. Gold is really bullish, and so I identify a buy fair value gap, 15-minute buy fair. We're at 15-minute time frame, buy fair value gap right here, and it is mitigated through this wick that I'm pointing right here. This wick that I'm pointing. So, and then this wick created a breaker structure on the 5-minute time frame. It created breaker structure. So I identify a valid buy order block which is chained to this fair value gap, which makes the probability even higher. So if I move down to the 1-minute time frame, oh god, okay. If I move down to the 1-minute time frame, we can see that I refined an order block to a chained 1-minute order block. And so right here, I entered for a buy and targeted these highs, probably a little higher than that. However, one thing I didn't take into account was, let's get the charts in a minute. Screw this. It's that this wick right here, I'm drawing it out. This wick that I'm drawing out already mitigated this zone. This buy order block that I was trying to get in. So this wick basically invalidated these zones because well, it didn't break through a new high. It didn't break through this new high. So this zone is invalidated. Plus, if I would have entered this zone that I've been scouting for, price would have immediately go up to my take profit. This zone, my take profit. If I entered here, which I supposed to be entering here, because this zone is already created, and I basically place any buy orders at around this spot, and then so if I entered right here, it will straight go to my take profit. So knowing that this works, I didn't try to overthink this trade too much because we traders will have this tendency to overthink whatever losses we took, and I got wicked out here, which is a very strong push. So my stop loss is actually, if I have to show you guys, price closed at 5064, which my stop loss is at around 5066. As you can see right here, my trade protection is 5066. However, I got wicked out, and it closed at 5064, so that's very unfortunate, and that is around 1.6k loss. Yeah, and so this trade really taught me how volatile gold was, and how you should be very careful for whatever zone that you're entering, whatever candles you're seeing. And yeah, it taught me a really good lesson because I was really fatigued on Monday. So yeah, and as you can see, negative 1,686, 6 pips, and 40 minutes. Yeah, that is trade number one. Trade number two is later that day. Again, on gold. So later that day, you can see price retraced to this to over here and create a very high upward push, very strong upward push. to create a current swing high, current higher time frame swing high, which is all-time high right now. And I was anticipating a trade over here at this moment, but it didn't quite come down to my 1 minute refined zone. I'll right now only entering refined zone for better R&R, because if I have to, enter this zone and target 1.5, I mean, it would have still worked perhaps. Actually, it wouldn't have worked. You can see why I've been really conservative with my take profits and really careful with the entries that I take, because of, it's been really volatile. I'm just aiming for the highest probable setup. So if I had to enter a order block entry, I would enter at the very, very refined order block to ensure that it is the most probable zones. Anyways, if I would enter at the 1 minute, which is a little lower than that, and then target a 1 to, let's say 1 to 2.5, it would be an easy win for me. But this is the market, we gotta play by it. Okay, anyways, you can see that price have been consolidating around the zone, so I drew a resistance to yeah. And okay, so as the day progresses, price created these wicks, these liquidities, I call them, that these zones to be waiting to be liquidated. And I see this very good opportunity. This is the better order block that I was looking into. Is a 5 minute, we are on 5 minute time zone, 5 minute, this wick of this candle right here, the order block created this whole upward movement into higher time, into all-time high. I could specify all-time high because of currently the price still haven't broken all-time high, and that's why this zone is really, really strong. So I'm really, really sure that price, if come down to this zone, I'm really, really confident, maybe like 70 to 80% confident that this trade is definitely going to play out. But again, market is the market. It does whatever it wants, and you can do anything about it. Anyways, going back to the trade, we see these liquidity zones to be taken out. So at that day, it was the late London session and the early New York session. We see a strong push downwards into the zone, and of course, I place my order at the very, very refined area. The refined area. Refined 1 minute order block. See, refined at 1 minute order block right here. And boom, price came down to this and bounced back up, retest it again this zone, and then go straight to take profit. I really want to emphasize on why I only enter on these refined zones, because of, first of all, the R&R, and this makes the R&R so much better, and it just gives me extra confirmation that price have mitigated two zones. One's the 5 minute order block and a refined one. So, and I targeted around these highs again. I've been talking about this over and over again on how conservative I was on these take profits, and normally I target these zones, which would have worked anyways, but I've been really careful with my take profits. So normally I just set it a little bit below this. Okay, so the whole logic behind this is an order block is supposed to have come down and then into an order block and push to create a breaker structure. That's how this system works currently. I'm not saying it will work all the time. I'm not saying it will work forever. But just currently, this is how it works. However, I've been very conservative. Again, you can try to predict how much this order block will generate an upward movement to create how high, because this high right here, this high that this order block created could have been here and could have broken the higher time swing high, because this created this movement upwards. So this order block should be strong enough to create a new swing high. So if this price broken this swing high to and then start retracing from this area, it would be valid, because this is how order block works. However, I'm just saying again and again and again, emphasizing on how these conservative take profits were good, because see, I would gotten this wouldn't have worked if I place my target. Let's say, okay, let's do a very simple tool, fib. Let's use a fib. You could easily target 1-to-1 zone, 1 to 1.6, 1.618 zones, and even zone 2. If you're like a fib user, or target these. However, I'm just saying that, yeah, I like to be more conservative with my take profits. Yeah, and yeah, the trade took around an hour to play out. This is again my live challenge account, FDMO challenge. No. Yep, this is my challenge account, and yeah, detail. Then we can go to down here to this trade right here, over here. No bullshit. This is my live challenge account. It's not a demo anymore. Okay, so opens at 5060, closes at 5095. Very conservative. Could take profit anyways. Not even at the highs. I could have easily targeted an extra $1, but do I need that extra $1? Probably not. Yeah, very beautiful move. Very beautiful, and pretty precise. Pretty precise, I would argue. Yeah. A lot of lessons learned lately. 2 trades, $2,000 profit, 2% profit, got me up around 2.23%. So it's a long way to go for 10% profit target, but I'm not worried, as long as I know that my system's working. I'll be doing whatever that works. And this is another example. I was really interested in taking this trade right here and targeted these highs. Like literally just now. I was very interested in these trades. You can see exactly why this is so important. That if I would entered at the buy order block right here, TP over here, I would have been stopped out right here. Again, price just came down, like as I'm recording this video, to this refined 5-minute. And I was thinking, should I enter it again at the refined 5-minute zone? And it proved me correct that if I would enter here, I would immediately get stopped out, protected low. So lately, it's going to be very precise on gold. Not saying that I'll always be right, but I do whatever that works for me. Again, this zone's already probably been mitigated through this wick. One could argue that this is not mitigated, but I'm not gonna risk that. If price came down to this refined in 5-minute, I'm still not going to enter. I'll find a fresh zone of order block for me to entry, just to maximize the chance of winning. Okay, that's it. That's it for today. And yeah. So for okay, I would like to talk a little bit about how I'm running through, how I'm planning to go over this account, just just to be transparent and documented for myself. So actually set a trading goal, trading plan actually, that I'll be only doing order block entries, and I'll identify any structures on 15 minutes and mark down all points of interest. Follow the internal trend, very important. Identify breakup structures and identify and mark down the order blocks that created the breakup structures, and look for near liquidity zones and basically enter it at the refined zones. And if there's no liquidity sweeps, sometimes there's no liquidity sweeps, and straight into order block, I will be reducing my risk to around 0.7%. That's $700. And if again we have liquidity sweep order block, I'll place a buy order at the refined zone and risk around 1.2 to 1.4%. Yeah, that's basically my plan, and yeah, I'll see how this account goes, and you guys will be, if you're watching this video, you'll be, I'm being very transparent in every single thing. Yeah, okay. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. You don't have to subscribe anyways. I'm just documenting for myself. You don't have to share it or anything like that. I'm just saying it for the sake of documenting for myself. Again, I also write down notes, but just be myself. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next trade.